All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. So find a nice tall seat, somewhere comfortable. And start to breathe a little more length into your spine. We'll start with some box breathing, just meaning 4 equal parts. So you find the count that works for you. Maybe it's 4 counts that you inhale for, and then 4 counts that you hold at the top. And then 4 counts that you let that air back out the nose and keep it suspended out for that same 4 counts. So close your eyes. And every inhale, really press the sit bones down and imagine actually growing a little taller and trying to fill your entire body, your chest cavity, your heart space with that prana, that life force, and then holding at the top. On the exhale, feel the shoulders visibly relax down the back and your face soften. So just by choosing to become conscious of the way we're breathing, we're choosing to be present. Luckily, our body knows to breathe whether we remember to or not. But when we do remember to and we decide to actively participate in that function, it's like a hack to being present. You're deciding that you want to be involved in this process of taking in this air and deciding you want to take it in a little deeper, slower, or make it last a little bit longer. And just by the act of breathing, that's why pranayama is so powerful. And it really doesn't even matter what method you're using. If you're doing like the Wim Hof or different Kundalini breath, it's just the act of becoming aware of the fact that you are breathing that brings you right into this present moment. So maybe today's the day that you can do a whole yoga class without forgetting one time to make this breath the priority, to make this breath a little deeper, a little longer. If not, no worries. If you come back into the head, just find that soft little inner smile, that little welcoming of whatever it is that's coming up for you, and then just come right back into the belly, maybe doing a 5 count back into the belly. So see if you can keep doing this, the box breath, while we're on the floor. And go ahead and lay back on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Start to move however it feels good, maybe rocking side to side across the spine. When you're ready, we'll find a happy baby. And now grab your big toes and slowly rock up to a seat. See if you can balance here on your sit bones. If you fall, just roll back onto your back and try again. All right, lift up through the heart, roll the shoulders back and kick. Find your core here. Find your breath. Find that softness in your face. Maybe you can spread the legs a little bit wider. And release. Now we're going to cross the right foot in front of the left. Maybe you bring the right heel right up into the center line if you're working on lotus. And root down into the sit bones. Now press your hands into your thighs and lift your heart up. See if you can visibly grow taller. On the exhale, soften the shoulders down the back. Now let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. And let your left fingers take a little walk out to the left. So you can make this really passive, or you can make it more active. The more you reach through those fingers, the more you're going to open that whole left side of the neck. Maybe you even lift the left hand off the ground or find movement there. Maybe your right hand wants to help invite a little more length through that left side of the neck, not pressing a lot, just that gentle little invitation. Use each exhale to keep softening everything down the back. Still finding that 4 equal parts breath. All right, now we're going to bend into the left elbow and reach the right hand up and over. Keep rooting down into the right sit bone. Draw the right elbow back a little bit and reach through the fingertips. Maybe you can bend into that left elbow just a little bit more. Draw the shoulder down out of the ear and then lengthen the whole right side. As you press the sit bone down and reach through the fingers. Slowly come back up. Now we're going to switch the cross of the legs, bringing the left leg in front and maybe that left foot up into the center now. Press into the hands, lengthen up through the spine, and drop the left ear towards the left shoulder and let the right fingertips take a little walk. Maybe just relaxing here, maybe really reaching through those fingers or finding a little movement through that right hand. Maybe left hand wants to help a little bit too. So it doesn't matter if you do all of the verbal cues just right and find that perfect alignment in each pose, but again, it's just a tool to get out of the head. So if you use that every inhale to find a little more length and exhale to find a little more softness, just kind of gives your mind something to do and helps you focus on that letting go. All right, now we bend into the right elbow, reach the left hand up and over. Draw that left elbow back, root into the left sit bone and reach through the fingertips. Maybe bend inside the elbow one more time and find a little more length through the whole left side. And slowly come back up. And now we're going to come onto the hands and knees and get a nice tabletop setup. Take your time, move slowly. So we're also going to focus today on this idea of letting go. And we're going to kind of liken it to that same motion as when we let go of that tension in our shoulders or our neck, but kind of focus it in the mind or even in the heart space. But we're going to kind of approach it that same way we do as letting go of tension in our body. But we're going to try to see if we can pinpoint it, maybe in the head, of just really letting go of whatever comes up for you, whatever's going through your head. Anytime those thoughts come up, see if you can find that feeling, that frequency of release or letting go, just like you would soften through the shoulders. See if you can soften internally. All right, start to really press into the hands and shine the heart forward. Really consciously starting to activate your body, your breath. Now reach back through the right heel. Keep the toes on the ground and find that calf stretch. Notice what happens with the arms. Did you bend an elbow and kind of tilt to the side? See if you can come back to center, keeping the arms straight and strong, pressing into the hands. See if you can find the core, really activate it, and press back through that heel. Feel that opening through the back of the leg. And now from your core, lift that right leg up. Keep the right foot flexed. Keep the hips in line. Did you bend an elbow? Straighten the arms, shine the heart forward. Keep the back of the neck long. Press back through the heel. Now reach the left hand forward like you'll shake somebody's hand. Make sure your right shoulder is right over your wrist. Keep your left shoulder relaxed. Keep looking down to keep the back of your neck long. Now reach forward and reach back. Exhale, bring your knee all the way to your nose. Try to touch it. Empty every last drop of air. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Point your toe now. Lift just a little bit higher. Exhale, round it out. See how long you can make each breath last. So we won't find that equal parts here, but maybe just still taking that second to pause between your inhale and your exhale, really taking your time here. Okay, inhale, extend out. Lower the left hand.
Lower the right foot to the back of the mat and peel the right arm up towards the ceiling. If it's hard to balance, slide that left foot back behind you like a kickstand. Now reach the right arm up and over alongside the ear. Root down into the right foot just like it was in Warrior Two, rooting down into the outside edge of that foot. Press down into the left hand, lift up through the heart. Roll the shoulder out of the ear, then reach through the fingertips. Find a little more length through the whole right side, a little more softness through your face, your head, and your neck. Now from your core, slowly come up. Drop your right hand to your right thigh. Reach your left hand up and over. Stay here for a breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften. And then lower that left hand back down. Reach the right arm up. Maybe you lift the right leg up too if that feels good. Keep scooping your hips forward and rolling the heart up towards the ceiling. Next inhale, come up. Stay here for one full breath. And then lower that left hand down. Reach the right arm up. Lift the right leg up this time. Now lower your right hand down and straighten out, kicking back to that heel. Now bend the right knee, reach the left hand back. See if you can grab a hold of that foot. Keep your right shoulder stacked over your wrist. Now kick up into your hand. Feel the strength of that right arm, lifting your heart. Let the exhale soften the face and the shoulders. Maybe you start to gaze back over that left shoulder. Now really, really slowly let that go. Let that knee come back to the ground. Come back to hands and knees. And start to find some big, slow circles with the hips. Stay with your breath. And switch directions. And slowly come back to stillness in the center. All right, move slowly with control, starting to activate everything. Press back through that left heel, toes stay down, arms stay straight, back of the neck stays long. Find your core, find a little more length in the back of that leg. Find that pause between each breath. From your center, lift that leg up. Press back through the heel, toes point down and slightly in. Right hand reaches forward. Like you're being measured from your fingertips to your heel. Find a little more length. Find a little more strength through that left arm and the core. Back of the neck stays long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Try to actually touch it. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Point the toe. Lift a little higher than level. Exhale, round it out. We're in no hurry at all. In fact, we're kind of practicing patience. But instead of just like being in a hurry to move on to the next move or the next breath, we're finding that little pause, like we actually want to be right here. Next time you lengthen out, lower that right hand down, spin that left foot behind you, peel the left arm up. Maybe roll that right foot behind you like a kickstand as the left arm comes up along the ear. Root down into the left foot like Warrior Two. Scoop the hips towards the long edge of the mat and roll the heart up towards the ceiling. Drawing the shoulder out of the ear, reach through the fingertips. Press down through your fingers and knuckles of that right hand a little more. Find your breath, find your core. Lift from there as you inhale, come up. Left hand, left thigh. Right hand up and over. Stay for a breath. Slowly come back down, right hand down, left arm up. Maybe left leg lifts up. Maybe you want to just ground it down here. Inhale, come on up. Stay for a breath. Find a little more space. Find a little more softness. And lower the right hand. This time, left arm and left leg lift up. Lengthen out. And then plant the left hand, straighten back out. Bend that left knee, reach the right hand back, grab that foot. Maybe you can grab the pinky toe side of that foot and start to kick up into your hand. Stacking the shoulder over the wrist, rooting down into the left hand to lift the heart. Maybe starting to gaze over the right shoulder. Now really, really slowly, really gently release that knee back down and find those big, slow circles with the hips. Switch directions. And slowly come back to stillness in the center. Activate your hands, curl your toes under, let your head hang down, and slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. Move around however you like. Maybe you pedal it out a little bit or sway the hips. Start to really root down into those fingers and knuckles. Start to soften the shoulders out of the ears. Head is either hanging heavy or you're tucking your chin slightly to find a little more length in the back of the neck. And now inhale, lift the right leg up. Flex your foot, keep your hips in line. Press down into the left heel if you can as you press up through the right heel. Now come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, draw your knee all the way to your nose and slowly step it through. Lower the left knee down and inhale, rise up. Just one breath, don't miss it. Take one more sip, take your time. Exhale, lower down, step the left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Press into the feet, come all the way up. Find a little backward bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. You can have your feet together or hip width distance apart. But start to really root down into the feet and visibly grow taller like a tree reaching for the sun. Visibly let the shoulders soften down the back, let the face soften, maybe even a little smile. And now inhale the arms up till they're parallel to the ground, palms face down, and reach out through the fingers. Imagine you're being measured in both directions. See if you can grow a little longer. Now really reach out through the pointer finger. Keep softening through the face and shoulders and reach. Now through the middle finger, really, really, really reach, shooting energy out through those fingers. And now the ring finger. Make sure you're pressing into all four corners of the feet and lifting the quads up off the knees. Pinky finger reaches out. And now turn the palms face up. And same thing, reach out through the pointer finger first. Press into the feet, lengthen up through the crown. Middle finger reaches out. Ring finger. And pinky finger. Inhale, arms up overhead, squeeze the palms together, lift the fingers a little higher. Exhale, trace the hands down the center line as you hinge at the hips, press down into the feet. Exhale, all the way down, empty every last drop. Inhale, lift up halfway, shine the heart forward, take one more sip, stay a little longer. And exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, and find that nice long line of energy here, stacking your shoulders over your wrist, back of the neck is long, find your core. Finding that little pause between each breath. Now lower down any way you like. We'll do a few rolling baby cobras. So keep your hands under your shoulders, top of the feet pressing into the mat. Take your time as you inhale and peel your body up off the ground and fill your body with that prana, that life force. Take that little pause between. And exhale, slowly lay your body back down. Keep the elbows hugging in and reaching back towards the feet. See how long you can make each one last. One more time. Biggest, longest inhale. Curl the toes, press your sit bones back towards your heels. Press into the hands, let the head hang down, fire up your core, and slowly lift up, downward facing dog. If you're ready, you can get right into stillness here. Sinking back into the heels, lifting the quads off the knees and pressing them back. Head is heavy, or maybe your chin's slightly tucked and you're looking up at the belly. Nice reminder to hollow the belly out. Press down to the right foot. Inhale, lift the left foot up. Feel that balance of the right foot pressing down and the left foot pressing up. Come up on the toes. Exhale, knee all the way to the nose. Step it through, lower down. Inhale, rise up, fill up. Exhale, hands to mat. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Spread your feet as wide as your hips. Grab your big toes with your peace sign fingers. Root down into all four corners of both feet. As you inhale and shine the heart forward, finding a nice flat spine. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Pull the head down towards the feet. Pull the shoulders out of the ears, belly in and up out of the way. And maybe you start to tip some weight into the balls of the feet to lift those sit bones up and back, starting to straighten into the legs. See how long you can make this breath. If at any point those thoughts come back, just find that soft inner smile, welcome whatever's coming up, and then just look at this as your new chance, a new opportunity to start again. Press into your feet, reverse swan dive, come all the way up, find a little backward bend as you lift through the heart. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Now we're going to come into tree pose. So we're going to lift the right foot up. Maybe you help it up nice and high on that thigh. Maybe your toes need to stay grounded today, like a little kickstand. Do not place it on your knee is all right? Okay, bring your hands to your heart and really root down into the left foot, lifting the left quad, press the hips forward, and let that knee fall back, that right knee fall back, yeah? Visibly grow a little taller. Exhale, visibly soften. If you want to challenge the balance, you can reach up or look up or even sway in the wind a little bit. Finding that pause between each breath. And now lift that right knee up, hug it in nice and tight. Bring your hands to your heart. Now keeping your hips in line, hinge forward and shoot that leg back so everything's parallel to the ground. Keep the foot flexed, toes point down and slightly in, level the hips up. Press down into the left foot, the same amount that you're pressing back through the right foot. Now lower the left fingertips in front of the left toes and peel the right arm up towards the ceiling to stack the shoulders. Now turn the toes to the long edge of the mat so you can stack the right hip on top of the left. All right, so press back through that right heel, lift the leg till it's parallel and roll that right hip back to stack it on top of the left. Roll the right shoulder back to stack it on top of the left. See if you can float your left fingertips off the ground an inch or two. We're going to slowly come back into reverse warrior. Bend into the left knee, find the back of the mat with the right foot. Reach the left hand up and over. And now come into extended side angle, bringing the left elbow to the left knee. Now make sure that knee is tracking straight out over the second toe. Make sure you're pressing down into both feet. Now reach the right arm up first. If the knee starts to collapse in, use your elbow to keep pushing it open to keep it stacked over the ankle. You can also use your elbow to twist your heart up towards the ceiling. And then reach your right arm up alongside the ear. Press down into the feet. Scoop the hips towards that long edge of the mat. Pull your belly in. Find a little more space in your body on the inhale. Find a little more softness on the exhale. See if you can still find that little pause in between each breath. Maybe you want to find a bind here. Maybe the back of your right hand comes to the small of your back, or maybe you reach it around and try to grab your fingers. Maybe you need to take a slightly smaller step. Make sure that left knee is still tracking straight out over that second toe. Now try to roll the right shoulder back to open the heart. Find your breath. We're going to come all the way back up to reverse it. Left knee stays deeply bent. Maybe right hand stays behind your back. Left hand reaches up and over. Exhale, cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Good, we'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Okay, now we're gonna just take a couple hops right here in place. So we're not trying to get anywhere. We're just seeing if we can hop the feet a couple inches in the air, really pressing into the hands, feeling the strength of the arms and the strength of the core. Maybe you're stacking the hips over the shoulders for a second. And then we're gonna start taking small hops towards the front of the mat, bringing our feet up to meet our hands. Inhale to lift up halfway. Feet as wide as the hips. Slide your fingers under your toes all the way to the crease in your wrist. Now rock weight into the balls of the feet to get the wrist bone all the way down to the ground. Pull your head down towards the ground. Pull your shoulders up, out of the ears, belly in and up out of the way. Maybe you start to straighten into the legs. Find your breath, make it last a little longer. Release your arms, step your feet together. Now, I'm going to say bend your knees, but don't really move your knees. Just lower your booty back behind you and up to sweep the floor. Reach your arms forward and up and find that powerful chair pose. Sink into the heels. Now see if you can interlace your fingers, maybe even gluing the palms together if you can. Sit back into that chair a little more. Draw the upper body back a little more. And now drop your arms over to the right. Keep sinking into the sit bones. Try not to let everything else tilt. Keeping your lower body steady. Inhale back to center. And exhale, arms drop to the left. Dropping the sit bones down evenly. Try not to twist the hips. Slowly come back to center and stand up. Find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Now the left foot will come up into tree pose. Maybe helping it up high, maybe keeping it grounded like a kickstand. Hands to heart. Root down into the right foot. Lift the right quad off the knee. Press the hips forward. Let that left knee fall back and grow a little taller. Soften a little bit on the exhale. Find that little pause in between. Maybe challenging your balance by looking up or reaching up or swaying a little bit. Good job, guys. Lift that left knee up. Hug it in tight. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep your hips in line. As you hinge forward, bring everything parallel to the ground. Flex the foot. Point it down and slightly in. Lengthen out a little bit more. Plant the right fingertips in front of the right toes. Peel the left arm up like you're drawing a bow. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips. Find a little more length from the left heel to the crown. Roll that left shoulder and left hip back one more time. See if you can float the right fingertips off the ground. And slowly come into reverse warrior. Press the right knee forward. Reach the right hand up and back. Slowly come into extended side angle. Bring the right elbow to the right knee. Make sure the knee's tracking straight out over the second toe. If not, help it open. Reach the left arm up. Twist the heart up towards the ceiling and then reach the left arm up alongside the ear. Trying to create like a half of an X out of that whole left side of the body. Scooping the hips towards that long edge of the mat. Draw the belly in and up. Find your breath. Maybe you start to look up. But if that creates tension in the head or neck, you can just look at wherever you need to. Find your breath. Maybe you find that bind now. Don't let that knee collapse in. Keep drawing it back to stack it over the ankle and then pressing it straight out over that second toe. If you grab a hold of something, still keep trying to draw that left shoulder back to open the heart. Press down into the feet. Soften the shoulders out of your ears. We're going to come all the way back up to reverse it. Right knee stays deeply bent. Left hand maybe stays behind your back. Right hand reaches up and back. And cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Two more breaths here. Okay, again, we're going to do the little hops in place, pressing into the hands, really feeling the strength of your arms, and just maybe catching a little bit of hang time. And then start to hop those feet forward to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale to fold. Step your feet together. Lower your booty back behind your knees. Sweep the floor, reach the arms forward and up. Sink into that chair. Draw the upper body back, interlace your fingers. Maybe you can bring the biceps back towards the ears a little more. Now drop the arms to the right. Keep dropping both the sit bones down evenly. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop the arms to the left. Keep dropping the sit bones down evenly so you're not tilting the lower body. Inhale, come back up. Sink into your chair a little more. Lower your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Maybe your palms can glue together. And then fold forward. Bring the arms up and overhead. Relax the head and the neck. Find your breath. Slowly release your hands to the ground. Shoot the right foot high like standing split. And then slowly come all the way to standing, bringing the right knee with you. All right, lift that right knee in and up nice and tall, and then cross that right knee over the left. See if you can get your toes to wrap around. It's not important, but it'll make balancing easier if you can get those toes to wrap. And then bring the right arm under the left and see if you can get your palms to touch. Again, it's not important. If not, you just grab whatever you can. Draw the elbows out and up. Let the shoulders slide down the back as you lengthen the back of the neck. Now soften that standing ankle and knee to sink in more. Pull the belly in, draw the upper body back, find your breath. Find that stillness between each breath. Slowly come back up, lift that right knee up high. Keep your hips in line, hinge forward till everything's parallel to the ground. Point the toes down and slightly in, level the hips out. Elbows towards the ground, fingers towards the front of the mat, kick back through the heel. Slowly step back into crescent lunge, bending deeply into the left knee. Find a little backward bend here. And then drop your arms and head inside that left knee. Keep that left knee tracking straight out over the second toe. Let your head be heavy. Find your breath. Now we're going to walk the hands over to the right to a wide leg forward fold. Turn your toes in a little bit. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. We're going to grab the big toes with the peace sign fingers. Unless there's a different variation you'd rather do, that's fine. Let's one more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Start to rock a little weight into the balls of the feet to lift those sit bones up and back. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. Find your breath. Stay with it. If you lost it and you came back to thought form, no worries. Let it go. No judgment. Release your grip, put a little bend in your knees, bring your hands to your hips and slowly come up. Now we're going to try to turn our toes all the way out to the sides. And we're going to try to stack our knees right over your ankles. You might need to help them open here a little bit if your hips are tight. You might need to move around a little bit. Try to come down so your thighs are parallel to the ground. And then bring your hands on your knees, your thumbs pointed down at your knees on the inside of your legs, yeah? And like rest some weight there to find more length in your spine, shining the heart forward as you roll the shoulders back. But keep pressing those knees straight out over those second toes if you can, and then drop the right shoulder towards the left foot. Use your exhale to soften. Slowly come back to center, readjust, and then drop the left shoulder towards the right foot. Slowly come back up. And bring your arms up overhead, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach up, fill up, engage the glutes. Exhale, sink in. Now draw the elbows and knees back, 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 sink in a little deeper. Inhale, press into the feet, rise up like you're lifting a lot of weight, really slow and controlled. And like you're pulling that weight down, but mostly drawing everything back, opening the heart, opening the hips. One more time, inhale, reach up, fill up. And then bring your hands to your hips and turn to face the top edge of your mat with your left foot in front. So I'm not sure which way you turn, but left foot's in front, find a crescent lunge. Sink in just a little bit deeper, try to level your hips out, and then cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Good job, guys. Take one more breath here. Press into the fingers and knuckles just a little bit more. And now, if it felt good, take those couple little hops. And then when you're ready, maybe one big hop or maybe still little hops towards the top of the mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Now shoot the left foot high like standing splits. And then slowly come to standing. Bring the left knee with you. Hug it up and in nice and tight. And then cross left knee over right. Maybe toes wrap on this side. Now left arm under right. Maybe palms touch on this side. Elbows out and up. Shoulders down the back. Soften into that standing ankle and knee to sink in. Belly in, upper body back. Find your breath. Find some stillness. Slowly come back up. Lift that left knee high. Keep your hips in line. Hinge forward. Everything parallel to the ground. Lengthen from heel to crown. Elbows towards the ground. Fingers towards the top edge. Level the hips out. Bend into the right knee. Slowly step back to crescent lunge. Find a little backward bend as you press the right knee forward and lift the arms up. Drop your head and arms inside the right knee, but keep pressing that knee straight over the second toe. Let your head become heavy. Then walk your hands over to the left now. Come into that wide leg forward fold. Point the toes in a little bit. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold. Now maybe you reach around and grab the outside edge of your feet, stepping on all 10 fingers. Maybe you just want to walk your hands back between your legs with your fingers pointing back away from you. Maybe you want to try going upside down. If you can get your head to the ground and start to lift your feet up with no momentum, feel free to go up. Stay with your breath. Yeah, good job. So sometimes we let ourselves off the hook when we're upside down. We're like, oh, how could I keep breathing like that here? But this is when it's really important, right? When things get sideways or upside down, this is when our practice really comes into use. So see if you can still stay with the breath and even find that little pause between each breath, staying in control of your physiology, even when things get hard. Take your time coming back, stacking the shoulders under, stacking the wrists under the shoulders. Yeah. Bring your hands to your hips, little bend in the knees, slowly come on up. And turn the toes out again. See if you can stack the knees over the ankles. Move around a little if you need to. Help them open a little if you need to. Let's do that opening one more time. Bringing the hands down onto the knees with the thumbs pointing down and in. Keep opening the knees. Press some weight in to lift the heart and roll the shoulders back. And then right shoulder, left foot. Slowly come back up. Resituate if you need to. Lengthen up and left shoulder, right foot. Slowly come back up. Now we're going to find those goddess arms, so like cactus arms. Pinkies in towards the face, elbows back to open the heart. Bend into the knees a little more and then lift the heels up off the ground, rolling up onto the tippy toes. Pull the belly in, bending the knees a little more, drawing the knees and elbows back again. Lift the heart and slowly lower the feet down. Inhale, rise up, straight legs, straight arms, fill up. Take one more sip. Exhale, sink in, draw everything back, back, back. Inhale, press into all four corners of the feet and reach up. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your toes. Now your right foot is facing forward. Find that crescent lunge. Level the hips out. Reach up out of the waist and cartwheel hands to mat chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. All right, inhale, roll forward into plank pose. Actually, no, come back to down dog. Inhale, lift the right foot up high. Exhale, draw your right knee to your nose, step it through. And now roll to the outside edge of your left foot. And then the outside edge of your right foot, opening that right hip. If you want to, your right hand can help that right knee open a little bit. Press down into the left hand, feel the strength of your left arm, and then slowly sweep your right foot back like side plank. You can keep it stacked or lifted. Peel the right arm up towards the ceiling. Lift the hips a little higher. Find your breath. Maybe you grab the big toe with the peace sign fingers and straighten that leg out in front of you. Keep rooting down into the left fingers and knuckles. Keep lifting the hips, and then step the right foot back up to the top of the mat. Bring your right hand right inside of it. Lower the left knee down. Now you can keep your foot flat on the ground and the knee hugging into that shoulder, or you can turn the toes out to that top edge of the mat and start to roll that to the outside edge of that foot. If you want to, you can come down onto the elbows or the forearms. Let your head become heavy. And now come back to that box breath, that 4 equal parts if you can. Slowly come back up onto the hands. Keep your left hand planted. Peel your right arm back to grab that left foot. Pinky toe side if you can. And then sink back into it. Again, you can have that knee hugging in towards center, or you can still keep rocking to the outside edge of that foot and letting that knee fall open. Now see if you can create this resistance as you pull that foot in closer and kick your foot into your hand. See if you can feel the strength in that left arm as you root down into the fingers and knuckles and lift up through the heart. Maybe you start to gaze over the right shoulder a little bit. Find your breath, make that your priority. Now really, really slowly, slow as you can, gently lower those toes back down. Lower the right hand down, shoot the right foot up like three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hips, try to stack them. Keep your arms straight, keep your head heavy, sink into the left heel and twist. And slowly come back downward facing dog. Inhale, slowly lift the left heel up. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Roll to the outside edge of the right foot and then the left foot. Maybe pressing that left knee open as you root down into the right hand. When you're ready, slowly sweep that left foot back, side plank, stacked or lifted. Peel the left arm up, lift the hips a little higher. Find your breath. Maybe you grab that big toe with the peace sign fingers and straighten that leg out in front of you. When you're ready, step that left foot back up to the top of the mat. Walk it out to the side a little bit, lower the right knee down. Maybe you lower to the forearms here. Maybe you turn those toes out and roll to the outside edge of that foot. Or maybe you help that left knee open a little bit with the left hand. Slowly come back up. Keep the right hand planted, roll the left arm back. Bend that right knee, grab the foot, maybe on the pinky toe side, and sink back into it. Find a pose that works for you. Start to peel that right hip flexor open. Create that little bit of resistance here. As slowly as you can, lower those toes back down. Lower the left hand down. Shoot the left foot up, standing three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hips, try to stack them. Let your head be heavy. Sink into the right heel and twist. And come back downward facing dog. One more time, sinking into the heels, softening through the fronts of the ankles. Try to melt your heart down towards your knees a little bit. Lower down to the knees, keep them together. Keep your big toes together too. Press your hips back to your heels. See if you can get the forehead to the ground. If you can't, if you need to spread the knees to get your forehead to the ground, that's okay too. Find your breath and see if you can melt a little bit here. See if that same motion of trying to let go through the shoulders and the pecs, if you can do that through the mind, and internally around the heart space, like really letting go. Letting go of judgment, blame. Letting go of that voice in your head that always wants to walk around and criticize everything you do. Just letting that go. And slowly come back up. Now we're going to sit onto the left hip and straighten the right leg out in front. We're going to bring the left heel right into the center line, trying to let the knee fall down. And then we're going to kick out through the right heel, trying to lift the heel off the ground, drawing the toes back towards the face. Inhale, reach up out of the waist. And now reach for that foot, grabbing whatever you can here. If you can, you'll keep that right foot lifted off the ground, keeping the right quad really active. Now lengthen through the heart and the crown. Pull your heart down towards the foot. Soften the shoulders down the back. Find your breath. If you want to find a little twist here, you can come back up and turn and twist to the left, trying to grab the big toe with the peace sign fingers of the left hand. The right hand can help you get a hold if you like. You might grab a hold and this is enough, or you might still reach for that foot. Find that 4 equal parts breath. See if you can start to equate that feeling of letting go with the letting go in the body. See if at the same time on the exhale, when you soften through the shoulders, that you can start to see that feeling, exercising that muscle of letting go here a little deeper, internally, through the mind, through the heart space. Slowly, gently come back up, straighten the left leg out, and bring that right heel up into center. Try to let the right knee fall down, kick out through the left heel, lift it off the ground, inhale, reach up, hinge forward, grab whatever you can, and start to pull your heart towards the foot as you pull the shoulders down and back. Try to level the shoulders out. So you can let your head get heavy if you want to, but keep your heart lifted so your spine stays long. If you want to find that twist, come up, turn and twist to the right. Try to grab the big toe with the peace sign fingers. Maybe left hand helps. Maybe this is enough, or maybe you still then want to reach for that foot. Slowly come back up and release. Now we're going to bring both feet flat on the ground in front. Reach your hands forward and slowly roll back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Find a happy baby. Rocking side to side if it feels good. Or maybe hooking those peace sign fingers around the big toes and straightening the legs out wide to the sides. If you feel like it, one more time, you can try to roll up and balance. Finding that core one more time. All right, cross your right knee over your left and grab onto your feet. See if you can grab the outside edge of your feet. If that's really easy and you want more, you can interlace your fingers around that left shin and pull it in tight. Tuck your chin just a little bit. Soften the shoulders down into the mat and find your breath. And you can just kind of let the weight of your hands help to draw your feet in a little closer. If it feels good, you can imagine that your hands, we're going to kind of set your feet flat on the ground, and then you roll the knees forward a little bit if that feels good in your hips. Find that 4 equal parts breath. Keep your knees crossed, but release your feet and bring your arms out like cactus. Shift your hips to the right and lower your knees to the left to stack your hips. Maybe your right toes curl around that left calf. See if you can bring your right elbow and hand and shoulder all the way down to the ground. If your right knee is up off the ground, maybe your left hand wants to help it all the way down. Gaze out over your right hand. Relax your shoulders. Find that 4 equal parts. Now on every exhale, relax your shoulders a little more. And notice that you only let yourself relax so much. There's like these different layers or levels of relaxation. With each exhale, you find a little more space to settle into. A little more of that tension you're willing to part with. If you're using your left hand to press into your knee, relax that. For one more round of breath here, just really settle in, no pressing. Slowly come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Cross your left knee over your right. Grab your feet on the outside edges or interlace your fingers around that right shin. Tuck your chin a little bit, pull your shoulders into the ground, and let your hands just kind of draw those feet in towards you a little bit. Or maybe imagine you're going to place those feet flat on the ground as you roll the knees forward if that feels better. Keep your knees crossed, but release your hands. Cactus the arms, hips to the left, knees to the right. Stack the hips. Gaze out over the left hand. Try to lower that left elbow and left hand, left shoulder all the way down. Maybe right hand helps left knee all the way to the ground. Breathe all the way down into the low back and belly. See how long you can make this breath, and then hold. See what you can soften now through the face, the eyes, all that space in between the ears. Find a little more space to settle into on each breath, giving yourself permission to really let go. If you're pressing on that knee, go ahead and relax that for the last breaths here. Slowly come back to center and hug your knees into your chest. One last time. And then let your legs go long on the mat. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Let your toes fall open. You can either bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, or both hands by your sides with your palms facing up. Tuck your chin just a little bit. Close the eyes down. Now you can keep that 4 equal parts breath going if it helps you stay out of your head. Or you can let go of controlling the breath at all. But if you notice thoughts come back in, you can come back to that breath. And we'll start with the toes. And we'll see if we can relax through the feet and the arches of the feet a little more, softening through the ankles. Imagine you're going to feel this gentle, warm wave of relaxation making its way up your body, encouraging you to relax your calves, softening your knees. Feel that warm sensation helping you to soften all those large muscles in your legs. See if you can feel that warmth make you really heavy through the pelvis as you soften the belly.
Really letting go through the belly on a deeper level than just muscular. Really feel all those organs softening here as you create some space for them to move around. Feel that warmth coming up into the rib cage and softening everything there, softening the heart and the lungs. Feel your head and shoulders really heavy on the mat, really grounded here. Now feel that warmth come down the arms, softening the biceps and the triceps, letting the elbows open. Feeling the forearms unwind and the hands just softly open. Now see if there's any more space to settle into as you relax the mouth, the tongue, the jaw. See if you can soften all the little muscles in your face, behind the eyes, around the ears, all through the head. See if you can relax some muscles you've never relaxed before or didn't even know existed. And really just let go. Give yourself permission to let go just a little bit more. Invite a deeper breath back into the body. Invite movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And invite yourself to stay in this place of calm that's always right here for you. When you're ready, roll onto either side and really take your time. Maybe you can keep this being in no rush at all, finding that little pause between each breath for a little while longer, maybe for the rest of your evening. When you're ready, slowly press yourself back up to a seat. Finding that nice tall spine again. Now we'll take all the good energy we created in class into our hands above our heads. Squeeze your hands together. Lift the fingers up one more time. Bring all that energy down to your forehead for good, clear thoughts. Down to your lips for good, clear communication. And down to your heart for good, clear intentions. Let your head bow to the wisdom of your heart. Lift the thumbs to that space above the eyebrows and take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. May all beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. May our thoughts and actions contribute to that. Namaste. Namaste, buddy. Namaste. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for coming. If anybody wants to pop on and